Hello all, this is Dswank, and I am back in Space Engineers, as it's behaving this week, and I'm taking a look at this ship. I saw it on the workshop, and it looked interesting from the screenshots that I saw. It's very blue, has spotlights on it, but it's a completely different style than a lot of the ones I've looked at. And not nothing good or bad from it being a different style. Um, but I thought I would take a look at it and see. Now, it is called the Dragon's Ark, and the name is pending, so if you have a name suggestion, go ahead, go to um, the mod page and leave a comment with a suggestion for a name you'd prefer. The guy who created it is appears to have a gaming clan in his name, but it's Drago Ninja, and the naming or the clan name at the beginning is in brackets MBOG. So now, looking on the outside, you can tell that this ship has atmospheric capability, and that's good. Um, and he asked for any suggestions or things on the mod page, and so I thought I'd go through here and do a few, my opinion, critiques. Um, one of which is, well, for the most part, I do not like having thrusters near the hangar bay that close, because there's the potential of burning things that are coming out of it. But ideally, especially with as small as these hangar bays are, you probably won't have to worry about it. It obviously is able to land on a planet, and that means it has a few concessions it has to give due to that. The thruster packs look pretty good. They're a little exposed at the back. If it was me, I'd prefer them armored up a little more, or having a little more firepower available covering the back, because without that, it's a big bullet sponge if anybody's coming up from behind. I like these turrets that he's created, the missile turrets. For the most part, they're pretty good. They could use a little more armor in a few places. Maybe some armor sticking out from the side to cover the joint a little more. Maybe some armor in the front. Granted, you won't be able to turn it as inward, but really, with that, you don't need it more. You don't really need to turn it inward that much, because you'd be shooting the ship. So you could have some more armor on this side, or some more missiles or something. That's really... These are a fairly weak point. But other than that, I guess maybe if you're looking up and over, I could see that possibly. But they're nice, but they are a weak point. If I was attacking, I would probably try to ram that with something, because if you take that off and the one on the other side, almost all the heavy weapons are taken out. You've got the Gatlings, which they're beastly, but there are some issues with those. You've got some pretty good coverage on the sides, the front, the bottom, if you're attacking. Actually, the front is kind of a weak point. You pretty much, no matter how you approach it from the front, you're going to have at least two shooting at you. But with the number of guns on it, I would expect at least two more on the front to supplement those. And again, the back is extremely weak, extremely exposed. This is a much more armored turret design. I like it a lot more. A lot more than the one on this side. But it still shares some weaknesses in the fact that you just target this and you blow the entire thing apart. So if you did a little better, well, if you had some coverage on it guarding this side, like some turrets on these wings, that would help. It would also give some extra rear firepower, covering the engines, which is a weak point. I didn't see these. These help. There are two of them. But if I came in here with a heavy shielded front ship, or ship with a heavily shielded front, some rocket launchers, and a couple and some what are they? Warheads. Aim right in this area, you would take out most of the thrusters. So, this is an early design ship. He has said he's not done with it, and that's one of the things that he had said. So, I thought giving a critique on things that I see issues with, because it is a survival-ready ship, or so he says. And so I'm looking at it if you were encountering others online. Now, as a single player or group playthrough together where you're not opposed to each other, it's perfectly fine, because you're really only fighting off drones and things like that, or raiding other ships. This is a reactor room, fairly packed together. It does show off some of the weak points in the fact that if you blow up from behind that area that I was pointing to, you could really just tear up a lot of this with the gyros floating around. Gyros are a danger, and I've always felt that they needed to be tucked away a little better, just because they're hard to protect anyway, and they only have one mount wall. So if they blow up, they go everywhere. Alright. Interesting. Definitely a more survival. I do like this bridge. No. Yes. I like this bridge a lot. You've got, as you know, I do like using these hangar doors to defend against the glass being broken and being able to close those. I do like that. I like having the view up. That's nice. I do like this bridge quite a bit. Yeah. Alright, let's go down here. Alright, this is further down. If it was me, I would have put a second ceiling further down. And had the lights and used that as just spaced armor. That's a fairly big open space that's not really doing much. And if you did some spaced armor in there, granted it would add a little bit of weight. And I don't know if he was concerned about weight or not. But spaced armor, so in case your bridge gets bombed. Now what's here? Okay. What do... Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, way down. Into this area. Alright. More doors. Ah. A way down once the ship's landed. Okay. If it was me, I would create a room in here that is, in essence, the server room, where all the computers are, and put some scripts off of the internet. Not the workshop. In here, like the doors closing every X number of seconds. Okay. So we're back here now. Alright. So this is just a giant hangar bay. The main part of the ship is a giant hangar bay. You have interior turrets. That's good. So if you really needed the extra firepower, you could probably just open all the doors and let the interior turrets fire out. Let's see, we have oxygen generators. And really? Okay. Other than looking cool, these serve very little purpose where they are, and I don't know if he did that to make them look cool or not. This appears to basically be the control room for the hangar. Again, I like this. I like it quite a bit. I like the way that angle works. We've got interior turrets in here. Only problem with those is they might shoot through the glass. And then let's fly down this. Looks nice. Let's see. Things that I would add if it was me. I would see about seeing if I could run some piping or something. So basically each of these segments on each side had a small storage container where you could access supplies nearby to do repair work on your whatever is inside here. And for the most part, this ship, I like it. It's very simplistic. It shows a lot of growth as somebody who's been building. And this, no, not quite big enough for what I was going to say. Though you could take out this back wall and push it back a hair. So you had this back section out a little more and build a stairwell if you wished. But for the most part, it's not bad. It needs some. attention on the inside, but for the most part, as a survival ship, all I would really want there would be ways to get supplies to your craft that you would be building in the hangar. And the other would be a room for computers and scripting and things like that. And then I would rework the hydrogen thrusters, but they may be needed to get it out of the atmosphere because it is a trans-atmospheric ship. Okay, we have downwards ions. We have a lot of downwards atmospheric thrusters. Having built a large ship that has to land, or that could take off and land, you need a lot of these. I would do some armoring up of these, or change how they're mounted, maybe work them into the hull of the ship. And if I was doing this, I would put catwalk or something like that, or maybe glass. That might look interesting. Glass that you can see through. Here, just something as an ablative armor covering these parts, because the hull is not that thick. And unfortunately, that means one good missile strike will blow a hole in your hangar. Meaning that you need the turrets to shoot incoming missiles, and that takes them away from shooting incoming craft. So that is an issue. The fact that these thruster pylons, I do like the way they are designed, because to cut them off, and this is what I was talking about with coverage. It's a combination of armor, way it's armored, and machine gun weapon placement. You kind of have to come in from an angle up here to fire and get the most efficient use of your rockets to hit here to cut them off. Well, if you're up there flying in, you're getting just shot to death by the Gatlings. Meaning the only effective way to cut off the entire engines there would be strafing runs, which are not accurate, and you'd have to be launching them from up here effectively, or straight on, but that only works for the front ones, to cut them off. And effectively you have spaced armor that is 4 blocks thick, because of 2 blocks there, okay, 1 block there, and 2 blocks down here. So that armor I like. But for the most part, in survival, this will do just fine. If you were playing on an online server against people, the weak points stand out quite a bit. And it's a good ship because you can see how someone has learned with construction as it was being built. Just the turrets. The people manned turrets. I would also do something different here with where they attach. This is better than the other side, but it needs something. More firepower is on this side, and it's armored better, but there's still some issues. One things I can think of that you could do, I've done it before. You could build another arm, swing it around underneath, and mount it so you had it pinched, and that would improve the survivability of the turret. Because right now, if you take out this, or build it out of heavier armor or something, because this, if I was in a fighter and saw this and started approaching it, I would, well, one, I'd zoom in on it with my camera. You'd see all these turrets on the front. So you'd want to attack from behind. Well, once you're attacking from behind, you've got the back of the con tower that has turrets aimed at you, and you've got the missile turrets, the human manned missile turrets. So if you attacked with forward mounted missiles, the back of the conning tower, and the back, I mean, really, other than that one has chairs in it, that one does not. If you launched a good salvo up here and took out the back of the tower, you take out those two turrets, unless somebody's inside them. And at that point, you've taken out the turrets, and you've taken out these Gatlings back here, and you just peck away at the back of the ship. And that's its weak point. You've got this one Gatling there, which could cause, well, you've got two in the back that could cause some trouble. But at this point, you approach from this direction, or this height, and the only guns that have target on you are these two Gatlings. So, that is my critique of it. Hope you all enjoyed this. If the creator of this ship sees this video, I'm not hating on your design. I'm trying to give legitimate critiques. And things I personally see an issue with. So, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.